So what is a forward contract rate and some basics, okay? So that is one mechanism, that I take a forward cover, go to a bank and say that I need dollars because I have to make some payment abroad for machine, equipment, or whatever I have bought, or raw material what I have bought. Or I can go to the bank and say I need dollars because I need actually not dollars, but I'll be selling my dollars. Because I'll be receiving dollars, I'm an exporter, so I need a rate at which you are going to encash those dollars back into Indian rupees. So either I take a forward contract to buy dollars, or I take a forward cover to sell dollars if I'm an exporter, isn't it? When I say dollar, it means any other currency. I use the word dollar, whether it can be yen, it can be euros, it can be Swiss francs, or it can be any other country currency, dirhams or whatever. Okay, so that means I can go to what I can do. I can go to the bank. That's one thing which I can do. The other thing is I can go to the stock exchange also and take a forward cover through the stock exchange. With the help of stock exchange, I can do that. And there are two mechanisms through which you can do that through the stock exchange. So it's called forward contract. In stock exchange, it's called futures or options. So I can do a future and options. I can go to the stock exchange and cover my exposure through future and options. Okay, fine. And the last one is called the swap. Okay, so there are four mechanisms through which I can do a kind of a hedging. Is that okay? So we are going to understand all those four in today as well as the next. It's very interesting. So pay your full attention to understand that. So first we are going to understand forward contract rates and basics. Now, when you go to the market, we check the rates. So just read that.
Forward contract is an agreement between two counterparts to exchange currencies on a future date at a rate fixed in the contract. Forward rate is quoted with spot rate and the forward margin separately. Spot rate is $1 is equals to rupees 86.5354. 6-month forward rate as 80/84. $1 is equals to rupees 86.54 plus 0.80. $1 is equals to rupees 86.54 plus 0.84. So 6-month forward rate would be $1 is equals to 87.33/38.
Okay, I'm just going to explain to how we have done it. I'll take you to the forward market, okay, and we'll do the same thing from the forward market itself, from the site, okay. So when I look at first the rate, which is the forward rate, will be given. First is the spot rate. आज का rate दिया होगा आपको. When you go to the exchange or to the market or a window, you will find this is the rate for today, okay. But I am not interested in today. I want to know what is the rate for after 6 months, okay.
So what is 54 in his spot rate?
हाँ अभी मैं आ रहा हूँ. 54. So this is 86.53 and 86.53, 86.54. So one is the buying rate, another is the selling rate. Okay, the first rate is 83.53 is the buying rate. If I want to buy, if I want to buy, the rate will be 86.54 as a customer, and 86.53 will be my selling rate. If I have got dollars and I want to surrender dollar and convert that into Indian rupees, it will be 86.53. But if I want to buy dollar, I have to pay a higher price. So the first is called the bid and the second is called the ask. Bid is the buying price of the dealer and ask is the selling price of the dealer. For me, it will be the reverse. If it is buying for the dealer, it's selling for me. So ask is buying for me and bid is selling for me. So this is the bid, this is selling price for me as a customer. But from the dealer, it will be his buying price. So he is going to buy from me at 86.53 and he is going to sell to me at 86.54. If I have to buy from him, he is going to charge me this money. For me, it is a buy price. For him, it's a sell price. Okay, fine. So this is called bid and ask, which you called last time. So you watch the video, you'll understand that. Okay. So now, we look at this rate. Fine. And then we look at the 6 months, what is the forward rate. So it will be 80.84. Suppose it is given like this, 80.84. What we do, we simply add these points here. So we'll have the fresh buying and selling rates of $1. Is that okay? So I'll just show you a site, okay, and then I'll show you an Excel sheet which I've just shared with you. So just open your WhatsApp and go to that site which I've shared. merchant banking. So, not this. Okay, just open this file, forward rates 25 Shivnadar. The link is given there itself. So just open this file, okay, and go to the March 25 sheet. So there is a link here, stpinvesting.com. Just open this in a window in the Google. Go to Chrome or any browser you're using and put this number there. So this is the rate what you're getting. So, okay. So today this is the market where interbank market. The site says that the rate of the dollar is 85.34. Okay, fine, and it has actually this is the current rate. Okay, and look at the bid and ask rate also at the side. So this is the bid for buying rate and selling rate. Okay. So this is the days range, because the rate is keep changing, every second in the market. Fine. So just go beyond this. So these are the rates. Okay. Fine. So the top rate was basically the spot rate, which was given there, which is today's spot rate is 85.343. So this is neither the bid nor the ask. It's a mid rate. Okay. Fine, it's a middle range of bid and ask. So this is the rate. So this is just an indicated. Today the dollar is trading at 85.343. Okay, fine. Now, if you want to buy dollars, say after 6 months, so these points are given to you, 98 and bid and ask points. Fine. So I use that point to calculate the rate, isn't it? So 1 year rate would be here, 190 and 192. So bid and ask. Is that okay? Fine. So what I've done is I just took a snapshot of this and put that into Excel sheet. Okay. So I just opened the Excel sheet. So this was basically a couple of days back, or maybe yesterday or day before yesterday. Rates keeps changing. The rate was 80. The spot rate was on 24th of March. Today is what? 27th. 28. So on 24th of March, the rate was 85.70. And what is the rate today?
85.3.
आज का rate क्या है?
5.33.
So that means the rupee has appreciated against the dollar. Rupee has been appreciating against the dollar from the last couple of weeks. Otherwise, it's the dollar which appreciates against the rupee on a long-term basis. But because the dollar index has softened down, it's come down to 104 something or 103.90. I'll explain what is that dollar index. But the rupee has been gaining ground over the last 1 month. Because the dollar had gone up to 87, very close to 87 also. It has retreated back to 85.7. That means rupee has appreciated over the last 1 month. Okay, because there was always a fear that all those tariffs which Trump is going to impose, it's going to adversely affect the India. Okay, but then we found that the markets have calmed down. It is not that it's going to hurt so much to us. Okay, because as we are understanding, it is not going to be that, and we are going to have some kind of a settlement by 1st of April or 31st of March. What is the rate which has been fixed by both the countries, that they are going to find a reciprocal tax rates, and which are amicably the same, which is acceptable to both the India as well as to America. Yeah.
So when they decided to impose tariffs on India, so that time rupee was depreciating.
Rupee was
Depreciating.
Yeah, depreciating. Yeah.
Now they have
Now they are finding that it is not that much going to be affect India so much adversely. So we are pulling from that levels. We are coming back. Indian rupee had actually depreciated drastically over the last when Trump came to power. So there was a lot of uncertainty, and Trump was going to announce certain things, and he was quite vocal that he's going to there's a tariff war and everything he's talking about, imposing tariff all across the world. So whole world was shaken, and the dollar was strengthening against all other currencies. So there is something called dollar index. It went up to 110 level. So normally 100 says it's okay. It was even 90. So as the dollar index goes up, that means the dollar is appreciating against all the currencies. But now the dollar index has cooled down from 110 to 104, whereas all other currencies have appreciated against the I'll just show you the chart for all the currencies through a site. I've just shared that site also. I'll just go to that site, and what I'll advise is that go take 1 month trial, package of that. You don't have to pay any money, but after 1 month they will be charging 1,500 rupees. So before that you just close your account. Okay, it's a good site to learn. But if you still want to know, you can. I have always continued, but last 2 months I was not using, so I discontinued. So अभी मैंने फिर दोबारा trial ले लिया. So I'll just show you that. So now coming back to this. So this is the rate. This is the rate, spot rate. Now these are the rates. Forget this green one. This is called overnight rate. This is called the tomorrow's rate. Okay. Like this, you go 1 month forward rate, 2 months forward rate, 3 months forward rate, 4 months forward rate, 5 months forward. Now the markets gives you the rate of dollar at the month end. What is the rate going to be after a month? It doesn't give you a daily rate. The forward market gives you the rate at the month end. Okay. But as an importer, I may require a rate on any day. But I get only month-end rates. So now there is a job to find out the rate on a particular day. So I'll tell you how to do that also later on. So now we know that after suppose let's go back and see 1 month, after 1 year, what is the rate? Just for explanation, because 1 year becomes very easy to explain. So 1 year forward rate is 189, 191. Okay. So I converted these rates. What will be the rate after 1 year? This and this. Put your cursor on this and you will find a formula there at the top. How I have converted. What I have done is I have added the base rate plus this. Okay. So this is divided by 100 and then added to the spot rate. And this is divided by 100 and added to the spot rate. Is that okay? Fine. So both the rates I have divided by 100. Assume this is the formula. Don't ask me why, I'll tell you later on why. But this divided by 100, this divided by 100, you add to the spot rate and you will get the 1 year forward rate. अगर मुझे आज जाता हूं मैं बैंक के पास, just listen to me. Suppose I go to the bank and say that I'm going to receive my dollars after 1 year. What is the rate you are going to give me? They are going to give me this rate. That if you come to me for buying the dollar, this is the rate. For selling your dollar, for selling your dollar, this is the rate. For buying the dollar, this is the rate. Okay, fine. What is your question?
So how these rates are calculated? These bid and ask rates.
हाँ वो मैं आ रहा हूँ. I'm just coming. Okay. Let's first understand the construct. Then I'm going to give you how these rates have been arrived. These are all market-driven rates. First of all, अब market में rate आज Reliance का share price 1270 है. If you ask me why, do I have an answer? Normally no. It's market-driven. If the oranges today are selling at 150 rupees a kilo, do I have this thing? It is basically demand and supply of oranges. Sometimes, the oranges, as the crop of oranges stops and then the supply ends, so the oranges will become costlier. So it's a demand and supply normally. Okay. The simple answer would be a demand and supply, but there has to be a logic behind the demand and supply or the rate. I'll give you the logic. Okay. So these are the rates, isn't it? अब ये रेट आ गए, आपने रेट निकाल लिया. अब आपका देखना है कि एक साल में प्रीमियम कितना चल रहा है डॉलर का. So dollar is trading at a premium of 2.2%. 2.22%. If you want to buy dollars, if you want to sell dollar, the percentage of premium is 2.2. From the current spot rate, the dollar is moving up by how much? 190, 89 and 191. If you add up, that means dollar is selling at a costly rate compared to 1 year from now. So there is a premium to the dollar. And if you calculate what is the premium, it comes to close to about 2%. 2 point how much? 2.2%. Is that okay?
What is the TN, SN, S12?
हाँ वही मैं कह रहा हूँ. अभी उसको अभी मत जाओ, अभी जाते हैं उसके अंदर. I will go first understand what I am telling you and I explain the TN की definition नीचे दी हुई है आपके Excel के नीचे जाओगे ना, उसमें लिखा हुआ है मैंने. But अभी जाएंगे one by one. We will go gradually everything. Okay, fine. So that is the TN is tomorrow. Okay. And ON is overnight. जैसे आज अभी रात अगले दिन का रेट क्या है, उसके अगले दिन का रेट क्या है, अगले वीक का रेट क्या है, अगले महीने का रेट क्या है, 1 मंथ 2 मंथ 3 मंथ ऐसे करके वो 1 साल तक रेट गया होगा. So all those rates are basically rates after not today but after a certain interval, and they are being given by some abbreviation. TN means tomorrow, ON means overnight. So they have their own terminology to define this thing, okay, which has been I have written at the bottom of the. If you just go to this, sorry, मार्च में जाओ, ये जो जनवरी मार्च वाला है ना, जनवरी वाला, ये वाला, इसमें रेट इसमें दिया हुआ नहीं है, कहीं दिया हुआ. अच्छा चलो मैं आपको दिखा दूंगा, अभी दिखाते. मुझे लगा मैंने डाल दिया था लेकिन वो डाला, हाँ है, कहीं ना कहीं है, मैंने डाला हुआ उसको. अभी उसमें जा ही नहीं रहे थे हम, तो इसलिए मैं कह रहा था उसको बाद में देखेंगे. हाँ वो फुल फॉर्म दी हुई है मैंने कहीं. वो एक्चुअली क्या था कि एक मेरी काफ़ी बड़ी एक्सेल शीट थी, उसमें से मैंने सिर्फ कुछ पोर्शन आपके लिए लाया हूँ, बाकी पोर्शन दूसरे किसी यूनिवर्सिटी में पढ़ा रहा था, IIFT MBA, वो मैं यहाँ कवर नहीं करा. वहाँ तो पूरा डेरिवेटिव था सब्जेक्ट, यहाँ डेरिवेटिव नहीं है, यहाँ मर्चेंट बैंकिंग है. सो आई हैव टू बी लिमिटेड विद यू. हाँ इट इज़ देयर,
टेबल नंबर 2.
हाँ स्क्रॉल करके नीचे जाओगे तो मिल जाएगा आपको. हाँ पिक्चर है वो डाली हुई एग्जैक्टली. एनीवे वो अभी मैं जा ही नहीं रहा, अभी तो इसको देखते हैं ना, जो बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ थी. तो अभी कितना ज़्यादा है, एक साल का रेट कितना ऊपर है, एक साल में प्रीमियम कितना चल रहा है, 2.24, 2.43, ये आ रहा है ना, इसमें 2 थे ना. अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा, जनवरी मैंने सिर्फ आस्क का निकाला था इसलिए. मेरा चश्मा कहाँ गया, एविन. ओके सो इज दैट ओके. कहाँ जा रहे हो, बैठे रहो. नहीं नहीं बैठ जाओ, अभी ये सबसे ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है भाई, इसको समझ लो, फिर चल मैं आपको बोल दूंगा आप चले जाना. जस्ट होल्ड ऑन, अभी ये परसेंटेज का बहुत बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंस है, अदरवाइज यू विल मिस आउट एवरीथिंग एंड यू विल नेवर नो व्हाट इज दिस परसेंटेज. अभी रुक जाओ, अभी बैठो, जस्ट आई एम ऑल्सो फीलिंग थर्स्टी, बट आई एम जस्ट गोइंग टू गिव यू आफ्टर 10 minutes आई एम गोइंग टू गिव यू ब्रेक सो यू कैन हैव अ वाटर. ओके so what is the percentage in premium, 2%. Now this, that means the dollar is trading at a premium compared to the today's rate, isn't it? And what is the premium, 2%. Now I told you normally this was around 4% premium in the past, but it is now narrowed down to 2%. Okay, it is the interest rate differential between the two countries, or inflation rate differential. If you ask me, how this is coming 2%, though this is market driven, but it has come out of the interest rate differential between the two countries. Okay, or the inflation differential between the two countries. Okay, so because interest and inflation are almost the same thing, if the inflation goes up, the interest rate will also go up. Now this next 2 slides, Indian bonds and USA bond, this is the interest rate prevailing in both the countries. Now first go to India. Look at the 1-year bond. So this is the bond rate. 1-year bond, if you buy today, this is the return what you are going to get. Suppose if you invest in a government bond which is going to mature after 1 year. Suppose आज आप किसी bond में पैसा लगाते हो, let's say FD में लगाते हो. FD rate is how much? Around 7%. Okay, bond is slightly lower than the FD because bond is absolutely risk free. Okay, if you put a money in a fixed deposit or bank, there's still some risk involved, okay, which we don't know, but there's a risk. I'll tell you what is the risk. Okay, so if you put a 1-year bond, you will get, government is going to give you how much return? 6.48. Okay, is that okay? It's a 1 year. So we look at the 1 year. Now bonds are selling for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 30 years. We are ignoring at the moment. So 1-year bond, what is the rate? 6.48. So I have put this rate, India 6.48. And then I have put the USA 6 months rate, which is 4. Now go to the next table and pick up the rate from 1 year and look at the difference of the two. So it's exactly very near to the dollar differential. The dollar is trading today at 2% higher because that is the rate of interest rate differential between the two countries prevailing in the market today. Okay? Normally it should be like that. But otherwise, the rates are market driven, but they are somewhat capturing the interest rate differential also. Okay?
So can you repeat that part? What did you say? Dollar is?
I'm just saying is, last time you were not there. look at this. In India, the rate of interest or inflation is 6%. Assume that. In USA, earlier it was 2% before the Ukraine war happened. So the difference was 4%. Okay, fine. If you look at the rate of dollar, so dollar was say rupees 5, and now it is say 86 or 85 or 85.80 whatever, or 86 whatever. So this was in 1950, and this is 2025. I'm just saying, I use this chart. In 1950, the dollar was selling at 5 rupees. And now it is somewhere around 86 in 2005. So that means if you have a dollar, you have purchased the dollar at 5, you can now sell the dollar at 86. So you want to know what is my profit in terms of what percentage. So this will come down to close to about 4% return per annum. If you calculate return, which I used Excel last time to calculate, there's a 4%, exactly 3.9% return you have got in these many years. That means in 75 years, your 5 rupee has become 86. So if you calculate the return, it comes to 4%. So that was exactly the interest rate differential between US and India. But now the interest rate in America has gone up to 4%. The bond rates have gone up to 4% because the inflation has happened everywhere after the Ukraine war. So this has narrowed down to 2% approximately. So when you check the markets, you will find the interest rate differential is actually being played out in the market, in the forward market. Now when you go to the bank, now bank has to give the rate. Okay. So bank will normally look at what is the interest rate differential between the two countries. And they will try to figure out a certain rate. So all banks will try out something that will be almost exactly matching the interest rate, somewhere very near to that. अगर आपने कोई चीज़ बेचनी है तो आप बोलोगे यार 2% में प्रॉफिट लगा दूं, और आप किसी कस्टमर को बेच दोगे, वो भी बेच देगा, ये बेच देगा, सारे रेट हम एवरेज लेंगे तो एवरेज रेट आ रहा है वो जो आपने देख लिया. जो मार्केट में रेट आ रहा है वो इंटरेस्ट रेट डिफरेंशियल का एवरेज है, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द परसेप्शन ऑफ ईच बैंक. They are just looking at what is the interest rate differential between the two countries. Normally this is the case. And if you ask, go to a chat GPT and say, how are the foreign exchange rates determined? So he'll give you 10 reasons. And at the top will be interest rate differential. Then demand and supply. You know how many people are buying dollars and how many are selling. Sometimes the rate of dollar may go up and more depending upon the current demand of dollar versus rupee. तो उसकी वजह से इंटरेस्ट रेट डिफरेंशियल का थोड़ा ऊपर नीचे है. अब मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ एक चार्ट और. वापस चलते हैं हम इस साइट पे जो मैं आपको बोल रहा था कि आप उसको वो कर लेना. उसको ओपन करते हैं, वहां देखते हैं. Go to WhatsApp and just open the trading site. Okay. जो मैंने सुबह सुबह भेजा था आपको. ये नहीं, हाँ ये सुबह वाला क्या है, हाँ चार्ट्स हैं, हाँ ट्रेडिंग व्यू. Okay, fine. So this is called tradingview.com, okay, where you can always go and subscribe later on, or you can do it in the break. Okay, so यहाँ पर आप जाओ to the markets. Okay, so you have gone to India actually. Okay, fine. मार्केट्स में आप इंडिया में चले गए, कंट्री में इंडिया चले गए. ओके, एंड देन यू गो डाउन. ये देखो, दिस इज द डॉलर वर्सेस रूपी. ओके, अभी क्या रेट है? 85.42. And today it has actually, the Indian rupee has actually appreciated by 0.23%. In 1 week, it has appreciated by 1%. In 1 month, it has appreciated almost by 2%. In 6 months or 1 year, it has depreciated by 2. This is what we are looking at, 2.49. This is the interest rate differential between the two countries, okay? But in the last 1 month, the dollar has, came down. Rupee has appreciated, okay? Whereas on the long term, it is 2.5%. Over the 5 years, it is 14.07. So इसको 5 से डिवाइड कर दो, सिंपल देखो, 14.07 को 5 से डिवाइड करो, कितना आता है? हाँ, 2 point something. So that is the interest rate differential between the two countries on a simple basis. So on a 5-year basis, that the dollar has appreciated against rupees by 14%, which gives you around 2.5%. On a 1-year basis, it has appreciated by 2.5%, which is again the interest rate differential. And in the last 1 month, the rupee has appreciated because it has over depreciated. एकदम ज़्यादा कम हो गया था तो उसको अभी pull back हुआ है. And in the year we are coming to 2.47. We are actually coming very close to the interest rate differential because the market can either overreact or underreact at the time. So the market had overreacted and now the market is becoming normal, okay, because it has actually taken a Trump threat very seriously and people never knew what will happen. So the dollar became very costly. Now the dollar is cooling down against all the major currencies in the world. If you look at there also, all the currencies have appreciated. All the currencies. Euro has appreciated by 1.73. Japanese yen has appreciated by 2%. So all the currencies have appreciated against the dollar in the last up to the month, except 1 or 2. And if you look at the 1-year basis, all the currencies have depreciated against the dollar. बाकी सारी currencies जो हैं depreciate हुई over the 1 year. That's fine because the interest US is always appreciating against all the currencies, normally except yen. Yen में उल्टा होता है. अब yen का क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पर? Japanese yen has also appreciated by 3%. Japanese yen has also done the same thing, okay? But on a long-term horizon, Japanese yen has actually, appreciated against the dollar. Look at this chart. ये chart आपको दिखाई दे रहा है आपको? I mean, have you subscribed or बिना subscribe मिल गया आपको? मिल गया. That's very good. So look at this chart. What do you find? Look at the 5-year number. So all the currencies have actually depreciated against the dollar. Okay? Or the dollar has appreciated against all the currencies except Japan. Japan में reverse है. Japan has appreciated by 18% against dollar.
No sir, against INR.
हाँ, sorry, INR. अगर हम वहाँ भी जाएंगे, US में भी जाएंगे तो ये है क्योंकि वही same चीज़ reflect हो जाएगा. Fine. So that means the Indian INR versus dollar and INR versus yen, इंडिया का जो डॉलर और येन है दोनों they are not correlated to us. They are inversely correlated. Suppose I have an exposure in dollar as well as Japanese yen. It is going to give me a hedge. You see, suppose I don't want to go to the foreign market, but if I have a exposure